Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA's back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the game. And it's not just the NBA. No, BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to political props. Head to the website today. Get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Welcome to the Mikey Likes You podcast from the Panocha Grande Ranch. I am Mikey, who likes you, or you who is liked. Go to my Patreon, check out the new workout programs, all the new workout nutrition info. It's good times. Let's get right to it. I solicited for questions on my Instagram at their Mike Catherwood and Mikey Likes You 1, the number 1. And I'm going to bring up those questions now, and then I'm going to answer them. That's how this works, dude. Professor Jesse, here is my selfish question. Laugh my ass off. How do I get my ex back? It's been a month since she dumped me. We talked 3 months, then official 3 months. I guess she wasn't feeling the same after being together 3 months. It's been rough, but I feel a teeny bit better. I have a gut feeling that it's not over, but we are in a not talking era, and I miss her so. I miss her presence. I miss her soul. She was worth it. All right, dude. Professor Jesse, you were together for 6 months total, if we're being kind. Talking, getting to know each other for 3 months, and then official for 3 months. And then she dumped you, as you put it. I don't know how it is best for you to get her back. I think if you're asking my opinion, the best thing to do is to go on with your life. If you say, and the last words you say is, I have a gut feeling that it's not over. Okay. And I respect that. And if that's what's best for you, I hope that that's the case. But if you want to guarantee it to be over, pine over her. Don't leave her alone. Even if it's just your consciousness is absorbed with how to get her back, you will never be with her again. If what you're saying is true, that you have an instinctive feeling that it's not over, go with that. And work on yourself. Putting your life on pause to obsess over her or to create schemes and ideas on what you can do to look good in her eyes and get her back, fill in the blank. None of that's going to work. In fact, that is going to get you farther away from your ideal goal. You shouldn't look at it. This is my friend and I were talking about the election, right? And I said I stopped looking at the election as a win or lose prospect. I'm not competing. No matter who wins, no matter who gets inaugurated, I'm going to focus on the same things. Being a virtuous, good person. The task does not change. And if you are with her and involved in that first, 3 months when you guys were official, where it probably seemed like that honeymoon period, or if you are 6 years down the road from now after she has dumped you, the task is the same. Be the best Jesse you can be. Being the best Jesse that you could be would make you the perfect mate for her. It would also make you the perfect person to deal with not being with her and going and find the right person. Every time a relationship ended, and that I didn't end personally, and I was kind of thinking of ways to go about getting that girl back, believe me, I never ended up back with them. Every time a relationship ended and I didn't like the way it felt, and I just then worked on myself and just invested into things that enriched my life, and I thought made me a better person to society and to the planet, my job, my spirituality, my exercise, whatever, my family. It always worked out. It worked out with dodging a fucking bullet and not getting back together with that girl, or it worked out in the case of my wife, who she was tired of me being all fucking morose, and we took a break, and then I did the same exact thing that I did the day before when we were still together. I just went about, I went to Loveline, I thought about how to be good on the air, and I really enjoyed my job, and I tried to manage my physical fitness and my health, and I tried to be good to myself, and I tried to be a kind person that was likable, and sure enough, it just kind of worked its way out that because it was, I think, meant to be, we kind of found ourselves back into each other's lives. But I didn't go around thinking about, like, how am I going to get this girl back? I mean, I really didn't. It's not because anything against my wife or the fact that I'm such a playboy. I fucking didn't think about it. I thought about the same thing. I was like, try to be the best guy you could be. So this morning I wake up, I'm going to try to be the best person I could be. And then when I go to sleep at night, I can look back and be happy about my performance in being a good, virtuous dude. Because you will, if you get dumped and then you're like, dude, I got to get her back, I miss her. You're going to let your deep emotional scar dictate your whole life. And you're going to compromise a lot of your life for the sake of it, man. For the sake, and that's why I say cover all the bases. So it doesn't matter if you. I hope for your sake you do get back to you if you really like this girl. I really do. But let's just do. The task is the same, dude. Whether you're gonna get back together with her or you're not, be a better Jesse. Because for dudes, especially young men, wallowing in this, like, what am I going to do without her? How do I get her back? It fucks your whole life up, dude. It'll fuck your whole life up. All right? Kind of lead by example in that regard. And I wish you the best. Thank you, dude. Hey, brother, I'm 31 years old. What's the right age to consult for test you live through? There is no right age to consult for hormone replacement therapy. There's a wrong age. I don't care. I mean, unless you've had a disastrous, either you have some very, very unique medical condition, or you had a fucking super rare, insane accident. There's no one under the age of 30 that should be looking at hormone replacement therapy. If your hormones are so, they're set up in such a negative way under 30 years of age, and like I said, you haven't had traumatic stress, you haven't had some type of brain injury, you haven't had some type of physical injury, or you don't have some medical condition that's causing these things, wow, lose some weight, get in the gym, start taking better care of yourself, start sleeping. Seriously. If all things are working out, I don't really see any reason to even think about hormone replacement therapy until you're in your 40s. To even think about it. I was 45 when I started HRT. I'm 45 now. So there you go. I was trying to do the math. I thought it was right after I turned 45. It's not a panacea. It's not gonna make your life amazing if it's not. You get older, your hormones aren't the same, and if you want to live a vigorous lifestyle, you get a little sprucing up, and that's it. If you are, like I said, aside from some medical condition or a dramatic injury, if you are a regular dude in regular dude age under 40 and you need HRT, you're fucked up. Your behavior is fucked up. Don't do that. And if you're needing to do that, you backtrack and look at your own behavior. Cover your bases. Because if you go from point to point in your life looking for pharmaceutical solutions to problems that you create, make no mistake, you're creating this. It's just like with SSRIs or any type of antidepressant stuff. If you are a schizophrenic, if you have a deep, deep psychological problems and medicine is going to keep you in the game, I got you, bro. I got you. But if you don't apply any effort to trying to develop things in your life, you don't associate with the opposite sex, assuming or the sex that you're interested in at all, you don't put any effort into it, you don't take care of your body at all, and you stare at the internet and you play video games all day and don't sleep and don't exercise and eat crap food, and then want to find pharmaceutical solutions for that, you are not getting my support. So I don't think that there's an age. I think that it's a case by case basis, because there are people who are young. Off the top of my head, I have friends who served in warfare. They are veterans of the United States military. I respect them so deeply. But the things that they were put through psychologically, emotionally, and physically overseas was so extreme that it made their hormones haywire. And even though they are young and healthy, they had reasons to now look for pharmaceutical help to get things back in order. If you are 40 plus and you're feeling like you can eat as well as you want, you're sleeping well, you're finding that your sexual passion is not as what it once was, all these things are down, go see a doctor. Absolutely. There's no downside to getting yourself checked out. But to take the route of like going in with the idea of I'm going to get some hormone replacement therapy, I don't see any reason why anybody under 40 should be doing that. And if you do need that, it's because of your behavior. Not sure if I'm using the right weight from FKM. I'm able to do a leg press at 200 pounds for 3 sets. Okay. First set, I was able to do 6 reps, so I went for 8. And then 10 for the next 2 sets. It still feels very difficult, but shouldn't I do a weight that gets me closer to failure at around 5 to 7 reps? If I go heavier, I'm afraid to compromise form, I'm assuming, and hurt myself. Not sure what to do. Well, yeah, you can't just use it. If you just decided like, 8 was good, I'll do more, and you continue if you do 6, then 8, then 10, you need to add weight. Because it seems like you could have just kept on going to 20. You're like, I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another shot. There should be no question to kind of, and I'm not saying you have to get absolute muscular failure. But people, there's a lot of research, that'll be, and different people will have different ideas on things. But when it comes to hypertrophy, when it comes to developing the muscular system, mechanical tension is really all that matters. Even metabolic stress, what they once thought, 10 years ago, there's a lot of factors that they, as they dive deeper and deeper and the science gets better, we're realizing it's mechanical tension. How much force is created and how much kind of neurological factors are put into the muscles that you're training, okay? And that only comes from getting to that point where you're pushing as hard as you can and the resistance has reached a point where you're so close to failure that you're moving very slowly. You can almost not move the weight. At first it may have been easy, but now you have reached a point, whether it be in rep 20 or rep 3, that you are pushing as hard as you can and it's still moving slowly, okay? Now, do you have to get to the point of complete muscular failure where you are pushing and it literally won't move anymore? No, I don't think. I mean, at least from the science I've seen, it doesn't show that. But you got to get close. And most people don't get, like you have really, it's hard to measure it because a lot of it is upon your own psychological makeup, what you think how many reps in reserve you think you have. And so many people are like 5-6 reps away. And they're like, whoo, I got there. I was like, ooh, God, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I'm not a tremendously gifted power lifter. I'm certainly not a great bodybuilder. Look at my physique. But what I do know training. And anyone, whether it's a high-level competitive physique athlete or strength athlete, or it's mom and pop who's never trained at all, if you come work out with me, no one's going to be like, that guy doesn't get close to failure. That guy pushes. You would say, like, oh, fucking that person pushes hard. I understand failure. I understand the idea of intensity. Reps in reserve, okay? Perceived level of exertion. And most people, and this is why so many people have such a hard time with kind of higher intensity protocols, because they're just so, the idea of effort is so foreign to them. in every aspect of physical activity, but in the gym especially. Most people do not know what it's like to do a set, because I've had people who are in good shape I've worked with where he's like, oh, I did 225 for 8 on squat, and then my next set I did the same thing, and then I feel like I really hit failure. I got close to failure twice. I was like, no, if you got anywhere close to failure, you wouldn't be able to do the same amount of weight at the same amount of reps. Oh, you'd have to rest a half hour. Literally. Like, you'd have to take 30-minute breaks in order to achieve the exact same output if you truly got to failure or close to it. Say 1 rep away. No, the working set that you're doing, when we're talking about achieving a optimum amount of fatigue, the working set should be so hard that the absolute maximum level that you could give in a subsequent set, given a normal rest interval, would be 75-80% of that, whether it be dropping down in weight or the amount of reps if you use the same weight. Earlier today, I was doing chins. I did chins with 90 pounds around my waist, and I got like 4 reps, right? And it was hard. If I did another set with 90 pounds wrapped around my waist, I'd probably do, like, really pushing myself, I could get 1 or 2. Okay, because that was the one exercise off the top of my head I did this morning that I knew, like, I really pushed it. I pushed it it was every ounce of effort I could keep. I got like that 4th rep, and I went to go do another one, and I pulled and I pulled and I pulled and I pulled and I pulled, and I couldn't move an inch. And so my point being is, like, what you have prescribed to me, what you have shown me here with 200 pounds for 3 sets, that alone already you're nowhere near. And when you're talking about a leg press, the amount of weight there is not going to cause injury. It's either you're not going to be able to do it or you don't. Don't ever roll. Shouldn't be rolling your hips back so that your lower back kind of rolls up. Just bringing your knees to your chest while your lower back stays perfectly pasted against the platform that you're leaning against, that you're lying on. Bringing your legs back and pushing. Bring your legs back and pushing. There's not real threat of injury there. So I understand. I don't want you to just make willy-nilly jumps, but you need to increase the weight. At least add a 45-pound plate. There you go. Yeah, you're training. You did 200 for 3 sets of 6, 8, and then 10 reps. On your 3rd set, you did more reps. Like, you're so far away from working hard enough. Okay. So yes, you need to be. You do not need to. And another way to gauge whether or not you're going to hurt yourself is there. By the way, there's no real advantage to super slow negatives as far as muscle growth. But one thing there is it gives you patterning and understanding of doing the exercise properly. And if you could I'm not asking a super slow negative, but if you bring it down with 1, 2, and then hold and then go, and slower negatives and eccentrics give you at least a little better understanding of doing the exercise properly. So that's why I encourage them. I never say go super slow. There's no advantage to that. There was a lot of belief, especially in the high intensity crowd, of like the Mike Mentzer ideas and Arthur Jones of extreme negatives, and there's been pretty conclusive and ample scientific studies showing that that's not true as far as any benefit hypertrophy wise. But there is a benefit in getting more out of the exercise simply from a patterning and physical understanding level. TPUS. Any ideas why I can't ejaculate with force anymore since I sobered up 9 years ago? When I'd go through withdrawal, I was super sensitive, and the slightest touch would make me ejaculate so hard that I would rupture something, so there would be blood mixed with sperm. Is it possible that I didn't heal correctly where it ruptured, and now there's blockage? Yes, absolutely. I'm not a doctor, dude. But that doesn't sound okay. I know from Loveline, I know because of the many calls we got regarding this kind of stuff, that blood with ejaculate is not necessarily as horrible as it sounds to a layperson like me. Dr. Drew talked a lot of people down from that, and he's like, there could be a lot of issues, but go see a doctor. I think when you're talking about first off, congratulations on your sobriety, 9 years. Secondly, if you've been sober 9 years, you're not like a teenager. Okay, here, there's another reason why your ejaculate isn't that powerful. You're getting older. That happens to the best of us, dude. I'm a pretty healthy guy, but yeah, no, I don't. Even when I was drinking and using every day, I still had a little bit more gusto in that department than I do nowadays, and I'm in pretty top physical condition. That's part of getting older, man. I'm sorry. I don't think your horniness has to go down. I don't think your libido has to go down. Certainly your erectile strength doesn't have to go down if you take care of yourself. But we're not going to be throwing the heaters like we used to. But I think like when you're talking about I ruptured things and then there's potential with internal rupturing and blood in your ejaculate, dude, your load size is really not a priority in your life, dude. Seriously. Okay? I hope you have health insurance. If you do, and that's something that's pretty reasonable for you, go see a doctor. Please have that checked out, all right? Have a urologist really look at you. He or she will give you a better insight than me, dickhead, idiot. So I don't even want to give any... The reason you wrote me, which I think is a dumb reason considering everything you have going on, I can tell you that, yeah, part of getting older is you're not going to have as strong of an ejaculate, or at least the volume, you know? All right, last question here. I like to jog, zone 2 cardio. I do 45 minutes twice a week. I track my heart rate with an Apple Watch and keep it at an average of 125 beats per minute. Awesome. I weight train 4 times per week and do 1 hit session on an Aerodyne bike per week. Dude, sounds like you have this really locked in. Sounds great. I keep hearing people say that zone 2 is great for recovery heart health. True. Doesn't hurt muscle gain. True. I agree with that. I'm wondering your opinion because you say you prefer to keep slow cardio slow and fast cardio fast. Is the zone 2 jogging too much? No, not the way you're doing it. And here's why. Because you, guy or gal, I can't tell, you have no profile picture and your name is kind of vague. You are doing it right. You're saying, I'm doing my zone 2 45 minutes a week. My heart rate is averaging 125. That's slow. The problem is that most people who have no real concept of the ideas of different output and no real like familiarity with exercise, they're like, I want to lose body fat, and then they go for a jog and they just go. And because they're not trained endurance athletes, their heart rate's 150 in a minute. It's 150. Lord knows what it is after they go and they get home after they're like, I pushed myself. I went 2 miles. This is my first run. You know, like that's the difference. If you can stay at 125 or a little below, if you're averaging 125, that means you have moments where you're 118 and you have moments where you're 130. Okay, you're good. That's an aerobic pace. These are the things that you want to be kind of highlighting. Your day in and day out, do zone 1 and low zone 2, 111, 109. Okay. That's do as much of that as you possibly can. Like never ever stop doing that for all I care. And the kind of the data backs that up. The zone 2, when you're purposely looking at aerobic activity, 125, into low 130s for really young, healthy people. Yeah, fine. 45 minutes, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. That's your business. But yeah, you're not getting into the I'm destroying my gains territory. All you're doing is making your heart healthier, making it easier for circulation to get through your body, and making it easier to oxygenate every single cell within your body, which is definitely a plus. Okay? I worry when I say that most people's fast is too slow and most people's slow is too fast, because people do cardio. They get on the step mill. A lot of women do elliptical. A lot of women, and then guys do a lot of like jogging, or like they do like a boxer. They're going to train. And immediately, because you're not in shape, you skyrocket your heart rate. And you're doing like 155, 160 for periods of time. Is there health advantages to doing that as opposed to sitting on the couch? Sure. But that now you're starting to dip into territory where you're compromising what you're looking for with a nice looking physique. If you want to do hard, go hard. Have your brush up 90% maximum heart rate. Okay, I C2 rower intervals, sprinting, right, where it's so hard that you're not doing it for a long period of time. You're doing it for 20 seconds at the most. That's the most you could possibly maintain this level of effort. then rest, and then do it again. That's what I'm talking about. That's your high. That's your fast. That your fast should be so fast you can't do it for very long, and your slow should be slower than people think. Because so many people get under this impression that if I go this fast, it's good. Then going this fast, a little bit up, is better because I'll be losing more calories. Maybe in an initial sense, yes, you burn more calories. True. But you're also putting yourself, your energy systems are getting taxed in ways that, like, you're definitely not going to hit the gym tomorrow and do well. You're also going to be starving. This is why I say stay low zone 2, mid zone 2, and below, and then go for maximum level heart rate occasionally. All right. Thank you, everybody. My new my new training program should be available absolutely at the latest by the end of November. I'm starting to run into some technical issues. It will be on Train Heroic. I will obviously put up links and let you guys know, but my Patreon is still available for you. If you're looking for added help, make sure you check it out. The link will be in the profile. And in this crazy mixed up world that makes you think that nobody cares, remember, I do. Be good.